Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right, this is going to be a general reading. So try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Two of Pentacles to start us out. I like that. Change is always difficult, but I think if we try to adapt to the times, adapt to the energy flow, I think we're going to do all right with changing circumstances. I think what we're doing is we're making positive changes. We are... Oh, interesting. Wow, I see that there's still some doubts. But we're going to overcome those doubts. We're going to overcome our challenges. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Smith-Waite Tarot. And this is just one card we select at random. We're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading. We'll put our alien friend Simon right there on top. And hopefully that will, tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Okay, so let's take a look at this energy now. We've got, let's see, major, major, major. So we have our trinity of major arcana. This is always significant when we get the number 3. 3, of course, is the number of the trinity. There are a lot of 3s in the universe across every culture. It is a very important number. It's a number of creation. Right, it's the understanding. We have a 3 of discs down here, so there is a lot of this kind of higher understanding. What I read something yesterday about understanding. It's a standing under something, right? That we're being bathed in the light of something. That we are receiving the knowledge of something. Well, that's exactly what I kind of feel with this star energy. That we're standing under this starlight. We're understanding the message that's coming to us. To me, this really does feel like we're receiving prophecy, like we're channeling this wisdom, right? That we're channeling this divine energy, right? And I really think that it's leading us to these very positive changes, right? So major, major, major. We've got some fire, okay? We've got a little bit of water. We've got a little bit of air, and we've got a little bit of earth. These two with the earth energy. We have a little bit more earth here with the universe card. We have a little bit more air/water with the star Aquarius card. A little bit more fire here with the Leo or the lust strength card. So I feel like we've got a really good thing going on. This seems really extremely significant to me. I think things are changing in your life. I think you're putting forth an effort to do things in a bit of a different way. Because of that star energy, because we're standing under that starlight, right? And I think that it's prompting you to look at your life differently. We see the 7 of Swords down here. We're looking at things a little bit differently. We're seeing how what we maybe have been doing hasn't quite been working. We feel that perhaps maybe the plans that we've had or the relationships that we've had haven't really been working the way we want to. It's time to make a change. We're standing under the starlight, right? We're understanding what we want to create and how to create it. And the 2 of Pentacles is us doing things in a positive way, doing things in the right direction. Even if they're just little things, It's the small changes in our behaviors that become habits over time, right? And we're trying to probably integrate some new habits, like just having a glass of water first thing when you wake up. Well, that's kind of, for some of us, it's difficult to think of that the first thing, right when we wake up, have a glass of water. But you do it enough times, it becomes routine. It becomes kind of ingrained into us. And I see that a little bit here with the universe card. It's a way for us to balance our lives out. It's a way for us to become balanced, where all of our elements, right? The fire, the earth, the air, the water, everything is in harmony within us because we've made these smaller adjustments. It's the two of discs. It's not a tower, right? It's not a hanged man. It's not a moon energy. It's a two of discs. It is positive change that we have to purposefully, intentionally incorporate into our lives. We have to struggle with it a little bit. And we see a little bit of struggle here with the 10 of Wands. It's almost as if we kind of, we're trying to build up our life in such a way that we can take full advantage of our potential, of our energy. Okay. Let's just stay with the Wands here. I was going to go to that Knight of Cups. We'll talk to that card after. With the 10 of Wands, a lot of the time this is a state of having all the fire, having all the power, having all the weight, all the responsibility, right? There's my cat to confirm this. My cat always shows up in the Aquarius readings, but she's been making appearances elsewhere lately too. So I feel as if we're trying to maximize our potential, maximize our power, our strength, our vitality, our will, the force and fire, right? This good, really strong fire energy, spiritual energy. And this card is kind of saying, look, yes, okay, you can accumulate all of this power and energy. You've built up this battery. We've got the 10 of Wands, great. But now what, right? Now I think we have to lift the cat up so she can participate in the reading a little bit. Okay, get your claws out of me here. Let's sit down. There we go. Okay. Now we're ready to start the reading, right? Anyway, with the 10 of Wands, it does feel like we're trying to really accumulate this power and energy in our lives. We're trying to maximize our potential, right? The 2 of Pentacles it's making positive steps, it's taking positive action, being proactive, doing maybe new things, but it's making changes. So it could be letting some things go. Maybe there are some areas of our life where we're leaking energy, And that's all part of this plan. This card, again, this is above the path of the dove. This is the aspiration. This is what we're kind of trying to do. We're trying to really charge up this battery. Yeah. And so sometimes this involves sealing those leakages, shutting certain doors, right, to get the flow of air in your house going the right way or something. We want to be careful with this because sometimes this is such a massive amount of power and energy, of responsibility, of will, right, that we forget our connection with the source. This doesn't mean anything. Having all of this power and energy or all of this authority, whatever it is exactly that we're trying to accumulate in what area of our life we're talking about, trying to accumulate all of this energy is absolutely worthless if there's no connection with the ace. Or at least down here with this 3. If there's no connection with the kind of spiritual, triad here with the 3s, because the 3s are understanding. The 3s are talking about the process of creation and how we adapt to that process, how we utilize that process, how we are part of that process. So that 10 of all of that accumulation of really good, strong energy, creative energy, will, authority, all this stuff. Even physical vitality, right? It's that fire energy that permeates us. It is absolutely worthless if we don't, at the very least, have a 3 of something, some sort of understanding of the process and how to implement this. Now, it's even better if we have an ace, because then it's connected with the source. Then we know that the original divine plan, the original idea, the original impulse, the original will, the spirit of the thing, whatever we're doing, then can manifest and be, because the 10 has the intention of being the perfect earthly manifestation of that spiritual ace. But we don't have the ace. We have a 3, which is okay. I think that this star back here is serving the purpose of that ace. This is us again. It's the card, the 3s are the cards of understanding, and this is our understanding. This is us standing under the spiritual source, the ace, kind of, right? And receiving that starlight, right? And that enables us to do the 3 of Pentacles, to understand how this process works, to understand what we need to do in order to maximize that 10 of Wands, to make it useful, right? It's keeping its spiritual connection. We're making sure that it's being guided in the right direction. Where it's being guided, I feel like, is to this luster strength card. That goes like that. It's being guided here. This is the perfect control over the fire energy. This is the strength to control this vital force. And with that vital force, we are pulling things out of the void into manifestation. We are pulling things out of the ether or out of the astral plane, out of our souls, out of our minds, whatever you want to call it, and we're able to manifest these things. This is the secret. To me, this does feel like a prophecy to me. This feels like the most important thing that I could be telling you right now is how you can take all of this and create the success, create the big win in your life that you're looking for. Yeah, we need a little bit of luck. We need a little bit of harmony. We need to be in tune with the universe. We need to overcome our doubts here with this air energy. We need to understand the spirit of the thing and what changes to implement to use this fire energy, to control it in such a way that it's not a kind of wild and crazy over-the-top 10. It's not at the very extreme of its existence. It is a 6, a balanced, harmonious, and kind of ready to go 6 of Wands, which is, this is where we're ending up. And this is perfect. That's literally, I think that's perfection. I don't want to get to that card yet. I want to stick on the path of the dove for a moment because we still have this Knight of Cups. I feel like this is related to the type of changes you're making. I think there's an effort for us to be more giving. There's an effort for us to share. There's an effort for us to take the starlight, the blessings, the divine energy that we're receiving, right? Because we're understanding, we're standing under it, we're receiving it. But we have to also give it away, right? That card is this is a very prophetic card. To me, this is the best. I love this card so much. We have to use this revelation, the spiritual insight, these blessings that are coming in, because we are standing under, we're understanding the message that's coming down, but we have to give it away. Those are the changes we need to make to really maximize our power, which is what we want to do, but there's more to it than just accumulating authority, accumulating wealth or power or creative abilities or whatever we're trying to do with that. We have to also be willing to give that energy away. This is the fire of water. This is the Cancer energy, the cardinal water energy. It's the spontaneous acts of kindness, the spontaneous acts of generosity, right? We have to give away our gift. We have to share this divine experience with others. We have to hear the message. I think you're hearing it. I think you're receiving it. I think you are understanding it, right? You are standing under it. And we're trying to incorporate into our lives more positive changes that will allow us to harness this creative, spiritual energy in whatever area of life really needs it right now. I don't know if it's your work life, your career, your spiritual life, creative life, your home life, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is everything, right? This is the world, the universe. This message applies to any area of your life that you need it to. But it involves this kind of the spontaneous giving away of ourselves. Now, I don't mean that you have to just go and volunteer. That's one way that you could do it, right? But it's expressing kindness to other people. It's kind of this idea of showing other people your connection with them by these by spontaneous and random gestures, right? Do something nice for someone. Express some kind words. It's a way of strengthening those relationships. But there's not a lot of water in the reading today. Not a lot of water at all here. Some would think that the star card is a water card, but this is the Aquarius card. It's your power card, and you, believe it or not, are an air sign. But there's this magical air-water mystery with that star card. Okay? This is the only real water energy that we have. So this is the way to strengthen these connections, strengthen these bonds. It's, maybe we do need to volunteer, or get involved with a charity. Somehow give back to the group that we belong to. Friend group, family group, work group, community or religious thing. If we don't have enough to physically give these groups, just offer the kind words, offer those gestures of kindness and love and compassion. Very often we forget that, supporting other people or supporting a group means we have to do physical, practical, maybe financial things to support the people in our lives that we care about. Very often we forget that the best way to support everybody, everything, is to just be kind, and it doesn't cost anything. Yeah, but I think this is a good practice to get into. Yeah, especially with these larger groups that we're involved with, because I do think that there are other people in your life, believe it or not. There, especially with the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is very much a card of joint success, of cooperative ascendance, of everybody achieving, right? It's the card of victory. It's the card of winning, of triumphing. But the victory is most of the time over ourselves. We're not trying to make other people the losers, right? We want everybody. We want all of our loved ones, at the very least, the entire world, entire universe, to rise, to raise consciousness, raise awareness, right? To wake up to our true nature. To do this, we have to balance this fire energy. We have to get a handle on it. The Six is, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here, but the Six is the perfect reflection of the Ace. Yeah, the Ace is that unmanifest spiritual will, spiritual impulse. It is the spirit. It is the self, God, goddess, deity, for all intents and purposes. It's the original divine idea of the thing. And the Six is the perfect reflection now in you, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. So the 10 is very extreme. The 10 is kind of in practice on the earth, in the manifested realm, what we're doing, how we're doing it. We need to make sure that that energy stops within us and we can gauge the accuracy of it? Am I doing the right thing? Is this the plan? How perfect is this image that I'm holding in my mind? How well do I understand the message? And I think we'll find that we do understand the message accurately, and that we are implementing a near perfect expression, projection of the original spiritual impulse that's coming from this star card. Which, in this case, this represents the ace, the source, spirit, the divine, God, goddess, deity, the universe. Well, we have the universe here, too. Let's talk about this one. Kind of working our way down the path of the serpent today. This is the card that you don't want. And sometimes this card is a Saturn energy. And sometimes this card is undesirable because it puts limits on things. It tries to constrain things. It says you can have your freedom, but only in this area, only between these walls, only within these physical structures, only within the skin that you're in. So we don't want that. We don't want limitation. We want to be able to use this fire energy, use this stored up creative force, all of this fire energy that we have. We want to be able to use it to travel through space and time at will, freely, infinitely. We don't want to be boxed in with where we can live, what we can do, who we can associate with. Maybe you're trying to reach a larger audience, So we don't want the restriction of Saturn. Right? What we do want, the part of this card we do want, is this very balanced earth energy. See, this card's Saturn, but it's also very earthy. We want the balance. We want our fire, our water, our air, and our earth all to be in perfect alignment, perfect harmony, because that is how we become the very best entity, right, that can go forward in the world, in the universe, with this strength, this courage, this passion, this connection, this magical ability. What are you creating with all of this fire energy? What is it that you're trying to do? Well, we have to be as balanced as possible within ourselves, with our energies, so that we aren't limited by ourselves, right? Because look at this air energy. This, I think, is showing if there's one area of your being, right? Because we're a reflection of the universe. We are a microcosm, so this card is you. If there's a couple of parts of you that are out of balance, well, it might be the fire. This is why we kind of need some of this water energy to rebalance the fire, and we're doing that. We also need to rebalance some of this air energy. And I think a lot of this air energy is sometimes doubt, sometimes confusion, sometimes there's this disbelief that we're understanding, that we're standing under that starlight. Sometimes we feel like, well, maybe if I moved 6 inches to the left, I'll be more under the starlight. Well, maybe if I move 8 inches to the left, I'll be more in line with that starlight. It's just we're doubting, we're second guessing. Yeah. And so this needs to be rebalanced. I think rebalancing it by trusting, by positive affirmations and visualizations. Here's the Five of Swords. It's in the position of the environment and the relationship, the dynamic, the timing of things. It's time for you to stop doubting yourself. Stop thinking, stop being, self-defeating. Let's turn this frown upside down, right? Let's put spirit back on top. Let's let spirit take the wheel. Now, with the card inverted this way, and this is the work that we need to do, and maybe some things that we need to change, maybe going through this process of spontaneously giving, right? Random acts of kindness, that kind of water, that Knight of Cups energy, might help us rebalance the air. It might lead us to see more readily in the moment that spirit is all around us, that spirit is is the one doing all of this. Right? That the divine is here right now. And that might help us to get out of this kind of self-defeating mindset. Yeah. And start trusting in things, trusting in ourselves, believing that we are standing under this starlight. And we know how things work on the physical plane. We know what needs to be done. And of course, we check in with things to make sure that our actions, our plans, the kind of the image that we're holding in our minds and hearts of this thing is accurate. We're understanding how to make it and keep it accurate, but we can't do that if we're being self-defeating. If we have this kind of negative internal dialogue, we need to start with positive affirmations. And just the fact that we have that star card is talking about positive visualizations too. It's not enough to just say the words over and over and over again. We have to start to visualize it, to allow these words to create the reflection even in our mind. I'm kind of hoping the mystery card will be a 6 of Swords. Though I don't know that it will be. Well, let's take a look. Simon, what do you think? Let's see what Simon says here. I say a 6 of Swords, showing that we are understanding mentally that the reflection we have of this divine energy is accurate. That we have a perfect, mirror image of the thing. And that's the blueprint that we work off of when we're doing the work in the physical plane. And that's kind of a lot of this Three of Pentacles. In the Rider-Waite-Smith, the Three of Pentacles shows the artisan, the craftsman, building the ornate, crown molding on the cathedral, whatever. And the two figures are bringing them a document, a blueprint, to show this is what you need to do. And that's kind of the same idea here, is that we have this document, we have this blueprint. And that's what I always say about the 6 of Swords. It's like that blueprint. It's the perfect mirror image, the perfect reflection of the spiritual will, the spiritual intention, that divine energy, perfectly reflected in our mind, in our hearts, in our soul, that we can work from. That is the image that we're holding, and then we can create in the physical plane off of that document, right? So I would like this to be a 6 of Swords anyway. Let's see. Oh. No. It's not a 6 of Swords, but this is kind of exactly the thing. See, the High Priestess is holding that document. And on that document is written the words Torah. It is law. That is the blueprint of this kind of divine plan. That is the prophecy. And we've got to keep it. We've got to keep it in our minds and heart. That is the reflection. This is the reflection here, the 6. Because again, the 6s are the mirror image, the reflection of the divine source. And now we have the High Priestess energy. Now, on the Tree of Life, if you study Kabbalah, the High Priestess is the energy that runs between the Ace and the 6. It is what is bringing you the mirror image. So we're going above having a 6 of Swords. Well, we've got a 6 of Wands. We do have a 6 anyway. But this is the energy that brings that blueprint to us, that is bringing us that starlight, that reflection, right? This is kind of like the two figures in the Three of Pentacles from Rider-Waite that are bringing the artisan the document, right? They're both kind of carrying it over to the artisan and showing it to them and saying, this is what you need to build, because this is the message coming from the divine. We said that the star was the source, was God, goddess, deity, was your higher self, your soul. That is the divine energy. And this is literally representing that starlight coming down to you, informing you this is the prophecy. And prophecy is written in this energy. We have to embrace this, this star energy coming through this high priestess. Now, it's very interesting that the high priestess here represents kind of the full moon, right? We're receiving that reflected light, right? And I think right now, or very, very recently, I don't know if it maybe yesterday or today, I don't know when you're watching this, but the moon was recently in the sign of Aquarius. It's kind of a, and I know the moon goes through the sign of Aquarius very often, but it was either today or yesterday that it was in there. And I just think that's a neat little coincidence, right? Because this is that full moon. This is the reflection of the sunlight of that star. Now, the star is a reflection of some deeper mystery of the universe, from something unmanifest, but for all intents and purposes, this is the reflected light from Spirit. And this is what is giving us, I think we will get that 6 of Swords, maybe in the extended reading, which we should do now. If you would like to stick around for the extended, just click on the link in the corner, okay? Please let me know if that link is not showing up. There's been some glitches where it hasn't been showing up for people. So maybe I'm not pointing to anything. I don't know. New readings come out every day at 6 a.m. Chicago time. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next reading. All right. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent